This is one of the best apps I've ever tried, like, in my entire life. I know which app I want to spend the rest of my life with. It's just that great. I'm still accepted. What's up, guys, and welcome to today's video. Yes, I did actually try 39 different apps for budgeting and tracking expenses, and I am recording this section at the end of the video, so I already know the outcome and I am quite satisfied with the results. I mean, I found one of the best, if not the best, app out there to budgeting and tracking expenses. And yes, that's it, so let's hop into the video. First, if you don't know what budgeting your expenses or tracking is, you can watch this video about budgeting here and about tracking here. I want to say that there were apps that sucked, I don't know why they are out there, it's just insane. However, there were other apps that were just brilliant. It seems like their creator was a genius or something, and I was just impressed. First, I want to mention all the criteria I used to find the best of all these apps, to find the one I like the most. One of the rules is that I wanted this app to be usable anywhere in the world. This is because I have watched too many videos about great and awesome apps, for example Mint or Personal Capital, Pocket Guard, etc., but they are only usable within North America. And I think that that's a disadvantage because I know that they need your bank accounts to be linked so that you don't have to enter your recourse or your expenses manually, but I think that that should be an option. I mean, what if you live in a country where you can't link your banks? It's not that difficult to just add an option to let people from outside the USA to use the app, The other rule is that I wanted this app to be simple and user-friendly. I didn't want it to be complicated because I know that we are living in a busy world, everything is fast, and we want to track our expenses with no effort. Anyway, so I wanted this app to be the easiest app out there, to have a striking interface. I wanted you to have this need or desire to use it because it's so awesome you want to keep trying it over and over again. I look for those things because I want that for myself, and I'm pretty sure you will want that as well for yourself because I am constantly thinking of you, Have you noticed that most of the people have kind of the same categories or the same things in which they spend their money on? For example, I have housing. I'm pretty sure you have housing as well. You could be paying your mortgage or rent or electricity bill or water, mobile, etc. Those are the same expenses categories. There's a set of categories that we all use, and believe it or not, I have found today in the 21st century apps that came empty with no categories at all, and you have to enter all of them one by one, and I mean, this is just a painful, difficult process I didn't want to go through, and I'm pretty sure you won't want to go through as well. So for me, an app must have these set categories from the very beginning. And besides, I want the app to teach me, to tell me how I should categorize my expenses, It was a joy for me to open an app and see all these preset categories that I just have to choose from, and I'm just ready to go. And lastly, I wanted all these apps to fulfill some minimal requirements I had. I mean, options that are handful and useful on a daily basis and things that we really need, but we kind of take for granted nowadays. Surprisingly, I did bump into some great apps, but didn't have things like account synchronizations or the option to export your Excel data into a sheet, for example. All these features I was looking for are the following. The option for budgeting, not just for tracking your expenses. The free version should be quite complete with many great options and should be usable. The option to link your bank accounts and credit cards, because that's awesome, but the option to enter your expenses manually as well, so that if you can't find your bank, you still could be able to use it. And the last one is that the app should fill you with the dopamine needed for you to be able to use it frequently. Have you ever wondered why you are so hooked up by Facebook and Instagram? Well, that's because of all the dopamine they cause, and what better way to use it in your favor than for tracking your expenses? So I wanted the app to grab your attention in a way that you'll be eager and desperate to use it, to wake up in the morning and be excited because you have this app in your life, and be happy to enter all your expenses as soon as they are happening. Because I take tracking very seriously. You should. So that's it for the explanation I wanted to give you. Let's go and try these apps. As I test the apps, I kind of notice some things they all have in common, and I see that there's like a logic underground that most follow, at least the ones that are good for me. More or less, the applications used to work like this. First, you make the budget. They give you a predetermined list of categories. You choose them and indicate how much you intend to spend on each one. On the other hand, there are the accounts that are like the sources you're going to spend the money from. You can link banks or credit cards, or you can do it manually. This is like preparation. Then there's the part of your expenses. In certain cases, they import them from your link credit card or your accounts, but if you want to create one manually, you put the amount and the category where you are spending. You can also take a photo of the invoice as kind of an endorsement. Finally, they have like ads in reports and views by month, expense type, category, account, etc., among other functionalities. Some little things change between them, like some use envelopes or wrappers instead of categories, but in the end the concept is kind of the same. I just wanted to point that out. Well, now let's look at the results. I know I said that I was only going to talk about international apps, but I wanted to add a section in which I mentioned some great apps that are only targeting American people, because they needed a link bank to function, but they don't show options from other countries. If you live in USA, you may want to give them a shot. And I'm talking about Clarity Money, Mint, Pocket Card, and Albert. They all are great apps and offer great functionalities that maybe the other ones in this list don't have. But their only downside is that they are meant to be used within the USA. But if that's not a problem for you, you can just give them a shot and see if you like them. And well, here they are. Pocket Guard is used a lot because of its automations. It also allows you to have goals and make forecasts of your cash flow. Clarity Money analyzes your accounts and tells how much you should save according to your possibilities. I found it the most powerful of all. Albert has, on the other side, a group of specialists giving advice and helping you with your money problems. And then there is Mint, the most famous and most recommended of all. It has everything: reports, expense records, budgets, categories, credit scores, a web interface, and a lot of other stuff. It is indeed robust. So these are the main ones, but why couldn't they get on the list? Because they are only for the United States. So let's move on. If you're a beginner and don't understand all this ecosystem or all this stuff, or you're just not familiarized with budgeting and stuff like tracking expenses, you may want to try some easy apps, some apps that are beginner friendly. They have an intuitive interface, they are easy to use, they are as well reliable, but they don't have all the requirements I was looking for, so they are not among the best, but they are still good, mostly for beginners. Well, you can go with Magnific. It's like the best for beginners. It has a super spectacular, brilliant interface, and you don't need to learn so many things to start using it, so it is intuitive, like for dummies. There is also One Money. Well, it is similar to the previous one, also with a quite beautiful interface. Either is great for beginners. And I even have a third section. You know, I tried a lot of apps, so you must have expected this. The next group are apps that don't have the option to link your bank accounts or credit cards, but I think that they are worth mentioning because they are very good as well. They have a lot of great reports, all these options I needed, except for the one I previously mentioned. They are worth mentioning because they are just brilliant. I enjoyed every moment I spent with them, and I really feel from the bottom of my heart that you should try them if this thing of bank synchronization is not that important for you. First, there's Blue Coins. It's the best of all. It's a real spectacle. It's like having a dessert in the middle of the day. It has budgets, many different graphics, an attractive interface, and an overall user-friendly process. So bad it doesn't have bank synchronization. Other similar apps are I Save Money and Expense IQ. They have all you need, several categories as well, budgets, manual accounts, reports, and besides, they are easy to use as well. So if you don't want to overcomplicate things, these are for you. And now we have come to the final section, the Hall of Fame. Here I present to you the best budgeting and expense tracking apps I have ever tried in my whole life. All these have that previous option, but they also offer the possibility to synchronize your banks and credits. They come with awesome interfaces, so many visualization and all that stuff. You will need to be in charge of your finances, and guess what, they can be used worldwide. So here is the list. First, you have EveryDollar. It's a subscription of $130 per year. I liked it a lot because it's very budget oriented. The problem is that it doesn't have reports at all, and also you cannot see all the transactions. I liked it because it really presents a concept from a budget and also has other extra services that others don't and make it a little special and different. For example, life insurance, aggregation of your will, among others. The next one is Money hobby lover. It is the number 4 because of all the options it offers, so many tools and gears, a really complete app. You can tell right away that has a lot of life, a lot of history going on. Its only downside is that the number of banks is very limited, and the report section it's okay but not as huge as the other ones on this list. Number 3 is you need a budget, YNAB. I didn't like the interface, I'm telling you in advance. I think it's a very famous application, but I believe it sounds better than it is. What happens is that on the other side there's a group of people doing strong marketing that gives them great fame, but I feel that when using it, it's a bit empty and with just a few options. I can tell this because I tried the others and they offer many tools. In spite of this, people still like this one. When I used it, I had to enter my budget over and over again for each month. I found a bunch of forms and pages that were just inefficient for me. It forces you to work more with no need. With this, you have access to tips, advice, and financial news, so you feel like part of the community and that you're being supported. I consider that this is maybe its main value proposition. Moving on. In the second place is Spendy. Looking at the previous one, it was difficult for me because I didn't know which one was the best. They are in this order, but I think they could have been almost even. However, I kinda like more Spendy. Just saying, the interface is like watching the sunset near the beach. It's filled with all kinds of options and you can pretty much do anything you want. Unfortunately, in the Play Store it only has a 3.5 score. I investigated the cause. It turns out that there was a different interface before, another version. They updated it and people no longer liked it. Nevertheless, since I didn't try the previous one, I still love this one. So you may want to give it a shot and look it for yourself. And now, yes, now, we have reached the number 1, the top notch, the podium, the best of all the best apps that have ever existed amongst the ones I tried, you know. What can I say? I just found the one. I know which one I want to spend the rest of my life. It's just marvelous, it's incredible, it's the best app I've ever tried in my entire life. Everything I said before, all the apps I mentioned previously, they don't matter. This is the app you have been looking for all these years. Had I found it earlier, my life would have been so much better. It's an app that looks like it was made by geniuses. I'm just astonished. Its name is Wallet. Well, this is the app. All these long hours, all these sacrifice and effort looking for the best apps have just paid off. This is so superior. This is brilliant. What a perfect application. It has an exaggerated amount of features. Reports, visualizations, charts, graphs, drawings, tables, so on and so forth, and I can just keep going. So it has an astonishing interface. Its build quality is just superior. You can easily see the budgets, add transactions, set your categories, customize them the way you want. The themes are very striking and the design is just spectacular. Up to the price, for just $40 you can use it for life. It's a little more expensive than others, but cheaper than YNAB or EveryDollar for instance. And above all, you can link it to a great variety of banks all over the world. So if you're going to keep something from this video, keep this app. What else do you want me to say? Go ahead and download it. It's too good to be true. But it is true. So it's too good and still true. I don't have any complaints about it. You can add your own categories, subcategories, everything can be modified. There are templates, budget for each month that can be copied or repeated from the former ones, and to sum up, it gives you all the tools you could ever need. Just as a fact, there's a problem that they say in the comment sections of the Play Store. It didn't happen to me, but supposedly sometimes the app doesn't recognize all the expenses of the link cards and they are not reflected in your transaction history. It didn't happen to me, so just try it. If this were a car, it would be like a Lamborghini or like a Ferrari or maybe a Tesla if you're into those cars. I like them a lot, quite a lot. This is just a masterpiece. I truly recommend Wallet. I think it's one of the best apps out there. If you don't want Wallet, you can try another one of the previous one I mentioned. And they are all good, but I think Wallet is superior. It's a complete app. I think I have just talked about that quite enough. Well guys, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like button. My content is about all what had to do with wealthy and finances. If you are into any of all these topics, you are welcome to subscribe. If you have a questions or want to talk about something, you can comment down below and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye. Are you not using this app because you are wasting too much time and losing, my friend? Just because you don't have this app. It has an exceptional performance. It's just remarkable, it's brilliant, it's just the best. What else do you want me to say? Go ahead and download it. It's too good to be true. But it is true. So it's too good and still true. The app is called Wallet. Do you want to know how this app is? Well, there's the Mona Lisa from Da Vinci, there's the Ninth Symphony from Beethoven, and there's Wallet from Wallet. Well, this is the app.